Tell us a little bit about what you saw and being able to relay that message to Cora when you watched Kimbrel pitch and kind of help out so he wasn't tipping his pitches.
So tipping pitches, we hear about it all the time.
People at home understand what tipping pitches is all about.
It's amazing.
And that's remarkable.
Alex, the Major League Baseball Players Association is so funny. It's the morning after that baseball game, and MLBPA News is tweeting out for immediate release, 137 players become XX parentheses B free agents, which in the baseball world was just known as free agents.
Look, someone's got to do it.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess so. If I was the Major League Baseball Players Association, I would be tweeting about how mad I was that Rob Manfred did not congratulate the Toronto Blue Jays for a series hard fought while presenting the trophy to the Dodgers. This is the first time, Alex, that I have felt, oh man, the league wants the Dodgers to win. The league is playing favorites to the Dodgers. What kind of nonsense was that?
Yeah. Well, they certainly can't be tweeting about anything that's actually going on with the organization right now, given that they're engaged in like multiple corruption scandals. But we're not even going to talk
alleged corruption scandals. No, we're here to talk about the Dodgers are back-to-back World Series champions, first back-to-back World Series champions in almost a quarter century. Boy, I just can't believe that it happened in a million different ways. We're going to talk about that, recap it. Later in the episode, we are going to be joined by our beleaguered friend, Steve Sladkowski, who I can't wait to see how he's holding up. Before we do, I am Bobby Wagner.
I'm Alex Baisley.
And you are listening to Tipping Pitches. Alex, I guess Tipping Pitches is a Dodgers podcast. It kind of always was, but it's back. It's back to being a Dodgers pod.
We're in the dynasty bag. We always have been. Yankees, Dodgers.
They've been a dynasty.
We love a good villain.
The whole do we start the dynasty conversation? Wait, should we start here? Let's start here. Are the Dodgers a dynasty?
Of course.
Of course they are. What do you mean?
Yes, next question.
They've won the division for like 38 straight years.
Yes.
They've won the World Series 4 times. 3 times. 3 times.
Yeah.
Sorry. I count 2020 as 2 World Series, so it's 4 in my book. Dodgers win. That was the most ridiculous Game 7 I've ever seen. That was maybe the most ridiculous baseball game I've ever watched. It was absolutely crushing. Where do you want to start? You want to praise the Dodgers? Do you want to talk about how painful that must be for the Blue Jays? Like, I don't even really know.
I don't even really know where to begin with this either. Yeah, let's start with the Dodgers because it really felt improbable. As you astutely pointed out on our mid-series check-in of just a few days ago, it seemed like the Blue Jays were sort of outplaying the Dodgers throughout this series. And I think that thesis held through really the final out of the World Series. Maybe through everything except the last 9 outs of the World Series where the Dodgers got their act together and remembered how to play baseball. It's good. It's helpful. But ultimately, right, the Blue Jays outscored the Dodgers. It seemed like they were meeting kind of the moments as necessary, but the Dodgers just gave themselves so many marginal opportunities and really only ever needed to convert on 1 or 2 at a given time. And that's why this team is so good, right? That's why you go out and spend $1 billion on Shohei Ohtani so that Miguel Rojas can come up in the 9th inning and take Shane Bieber yard, right? Just how we all wrote it up.
Take Jeff Hoffman yard.
Jeff Hoffman, excuse me.
Will Smith took Shane Bieber yard.
Yeah, there you go.
You know what? I haven't seen a single word out of Shane Bieber. I haven't seen anyone talk to him. He must just be devastated.
Of course.
Thrown into an impossible situation. I mean, let's not spin it over to the Blue Jay side yet, because I have a lot of thoughts on that front. You were saying about Miguel Rojas, the greatest hitter to ever grace a baseball field.
I have Smoltz thoughts as well. I have a couple good Smoltz isms that I wrote down. I think my favorite tendency he had through this whole series, but especially in Game 7, was after something crazy happened, he'd be like, "Yep, and that's just what we've come to expect from this series." And I'm like, you can't. Like,
this is
like Miguel Rojas who made the play at home, and he's like, "You know what? This is just how this World Series has gone." And I'm like, he just made a play. What are you talking about?
And like, he's always saying stuff, and many announcers are always saying stuff like this. I think I levied this criticism against the ESPN booth earlier this year, where I was like, it feels like the announcers are too hyper aware of the meta narrative that is going to come in response to the game that they are actively lively broadcasting. So you'll hear announcers say stuff nowadays where it's like, I know what you're thinking at home, or I know what the conversation about this play is going to be later tonight. It's like, no, you still are the ones broadcasting it now. Do the meta commentary about the commentary tomorrow on your podcast or whatever. I don't want to hear it in real time. Okay, but we're not here to talk about the announcers yet. Save the Smoltzisms for later, bro. The Dodgers, okay. If we really are going to talk about the Dodgers, the back-to-back World Series champion first, not the Blue Jays, who, I mean, just truly gave it everything they had. The thing...
Sorry, did you say... I thought I heard you say Dodgers in 7. That's a phrase that I something about that phrase rings a bell in my head.
Blue Jays in 7, bro. Blue Jays in 7.
Well, but I'm saying the Dodgers did win in 7, right?
We're not playing tomorrow night? We're not going 9? Best of 11? Best of 11? I think what was truly amazing to me about the Dodgers' performance in Game 7 in particular, because they won Game 6 pretty easily. Another ho-hum, Yamamoto's amazing, Dodgers win.
Yeah.
Game 7, they were playing so bad. The lineup looked so bad. And there were multiple moments where the Jays could have broken it open, and the Dodgers pitching staff bended but did not break. There were multiple moments where the Dodgers could have just quit offensively, and they didn't. A couple solo home runs, keeping them in the game. A couple plays made, keeping them in the game. For all the narratives and all the takes about how the Dodgers are ruining baseball and all these people that they acquired just made it totally unfair. The way that it played out, it just was not that way. Yeah. They had to fight. They had to scrap. They had to go and take it away from a team that was outplaying them. And so, you can say that the Dodgers have all of these built-in advantages, and the more that they win, the more it just those advantages compound on each other year over year over year. More revenue, more built-in sustainability, more attractive to free agents who want to come and be a part of this. Sure, but that wasn't the reason that Miguel Rojas homered to tie the game. That wasn't the reason that Kike Hernandez made an incredible reactive defensive play to end Game 6 on a double play.
Yeah.
None of these things are mutually exclusive. They only happen with each other. And that is what the Dodgers are. That is what the Dodgers do better than every other organization. They do the little things, they do the medium things, and they do the big things. And that's why they're back-to-back World Series champions. They could have lost this series so many times, and they didn't. I hate to be like, momentum, experience, know-how is the reason that the Dodgers beat them. But coming out of a game like that, where there was just a million different opportunities for the Blue Jays to do one thing 5% better and they didn't, it's like the Dodgers have been there before and they didn't panic. They didn't wet the bed.
Exactly. Would you say you agree with Tom Verducci's assessment that it was kind of simple math?
If it was said by Verducci, I'm in.
4 starting pitchers plus $1.4 billion in contracts plus 1 game to win the World Series.
This was his mathematical formula.
This was how he kicked off the intro to Game 7. He was like,
I didn't hear that part.
This is it, folks. It's simple math.
I was watching on my phone on a subway platform because I got stuck on my way home from something else. So the first couple innings I was watching without sound.
Not
That's
locked
life
in.
The big
Not
city,
locked
baby.
in for the douche.
You can't call him that. Sounds too much like Il Duce, which is Mussolini.
Well,
okay, all right. You said it, not me.
Yeah, the series came down ultimately to a lot of these like micro decisions, and tip your cap to someone named Dave Roberts, who
the absolute goat,
Dave
Roberts masterclass,
was playing 4-dimensional checkers by the end of that game. Frankly, whether it was putting
checkers,
4-dimensional checkers, not chess.
Okay. All right, swag.
Just checkers. He has appreciation for the basics, you know.
Derek Jeter must have said in the postgame about 13 different times. Every successive Dodgers player that came out to come out on set, Derek Jeter said verbatim the exact thing to him. He would go, you know, I've been saying all night, the best managers are the managers who trust their players.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
How do you talk to me a little bit about that? And Dave Roberts, and then he did it 5 straight times to 5 different Dodgers. He's so bad at this.
I got the sense actually that none of them were prepared to talk to the Dodgers because the first player who came on set, I don't remember who it was. Again, here we go doing our media criticism. The player sat down and then they all
Kershaw, was it not?
Oh, I think maybe it was Kershaw. No, I think it was Mookie actually.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
And they all just sat down and stared at each other for like 5 seconds. Like no one was really prepared to ask a question. And then,
well, Magic Johnson had already come out before.
That's true. That's true. Yes, tough act to follow.
And A-Rod kept us going. It's the Magic Man. It's the Magic Man.
The camera wasn't on him at first, and I was like, "What the fuck is happening?"
I was like,
now?
Justin Robleski's not nicknamed the Magic Man. What are you talking about?
Oh, I am gonna miss those guys. No, Dave Roberts. Trusting his guys. I think it went beyond trust, frankly. It was really, really gutsy what he did in a way that like very easily could have gone incredibly poorly. There's a world out there that's not too far from ours where we're talking about how on earth he could let Yamamoto pitch on 0 days rest, right? Of course he was going to get lit up, right? Of course he was going to have no control. And it was going to, go south immediately. Credit to Yamamoto because he's that dude, but also credit to Dave Roberts, who was like, what the fuck do I have to lose?
Kershaw said that he was the next guy out of the pen when he was being interviewed by the Fox postgame.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know whether to believe that or not, but that is so crazy. He was just going to throw him into that spot when he had Sasaki warming up.
I know.
The guy who's been the actual closer all October. Where was he?
I didn't really understand that.
That was bizarre. There must have been some sort of I'm not feeling good.
Yeah. Or he was playing the 18-inning game. He was like, I think I've seen this film before.
All right. So you brought up Yamamoto. I think him pitching at all is the most impressive thing I've ever seen on a baseball field. Given all of the different factors, how we treat pitchers nowadays, how pitchers prepare, how much we know about what your body does and how it responds to pitching a lot of pitches. The fact that he was even like, I'm going to go out there and I'm going to warm up today and I'm going to tell you whether I feel good enough to do it. When they got to the game and it was like all 4 starters are available, they put up a graphic that was like, here, these 2 starters have pitched. Snell's in right now. Yamamoto is available. I was like, okay, yeah, sure. Yeah, I'm available too.
Right, yeah.
Well, it turns out he was available.
Of course, no player's going to say, no, they're not available for game 7.
Not for 1
right?
inning.
But
not for 2 innings. For almost 3 full innings. On 0 days rest after 96 pitches. I mean, it's the most earned MVP trophy, World Series MVP trophy I've ever seen in my lifetime. And as I said, the kids are saying mogged these days. Yoshi Yamamoto, he mogged your man Mad Bum. How do you feel? World's biggest Mad Bum fan on the line. Take that L.
You got to stop doing this. You got to stop using that.
No, you're wrong. I just have to get it out of my system and then I won't want to do it anymore.
Right, that's good.
I think I was doing that bit on the Patreon though. So this is for the main feed listeners.
Okay, that's fair. Are you going to learn what 6'7" is next?
I saw a lot of people dressing up as that for Halloween. It's not my business.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Is Dave Roberts a soothsayer? Can he see the future? Because the Rojas thing is one thing. All right, you put a player in, he hits a home run. It's like, this happens sometimes. We unlikely World Series heroes, unlikely World Series homers.
Right.
I commented after that happened, is this Rajai Davis 2.0? Probably a more unlikely home run and a maybe equally as crushing loss for Cleveland as for Toronto. We'll get to that when we talk about the Blue Jays section. These things happen. Very unlikely, but possible. Subbing in Pages for defense one play before he makes a play that he's the only person on the Dodgers roster who makes that play.
Yep.
It's actually weird. It's actually freaky stuff. And that's when I thought, I think that's when I commented to you that this is fucked up. Like, this is some evil stuff that's happening right here. Someone did something cosmically that caused the baseball gods to retaliate, because that shouldn't happen that way.
Right. There's someone here in the world who's writhing in pain because Dave Roberts sacrificed their soul so that Pages could make that catch. I've watched that play like 24 times. I have no idea how he's able to cover that much ground. He comes out of
the ball
nowhere.
Just hung up in the air forever.
I know.
I was like, is that? At first, I thought Kike was going to catch it. I thought it was like going to be a fly out. And then I thought, oh my God, it's going to go over Kike's head. And then I was like, is it going to go out of the park?
Yeah.
And then I was like, wait, Pages is the only one that
it's in
can
his
get
glove.
to it. He caught it. The different ways that this series could have ended that would have been anticlimactic, only for it to end in extremely climactic ways, are crazy. It could have ended in a walk-off walk. Could have ended in a walk-off sac fly. Could have ended in a walk-off safety squeeze, walk-off hit by pitch. And it did not end in any of those ways. Instead, it ended with a Will Smith go-ahead home run, which actually feels quite narratively right because he caught 70 innings or whatever in this series. Like, how did he even have the strength and the legs to get into that ball enough to hit it to the left field seats?
I have no idea. And that's not even going to be the moment that a lot of people remember from that game. It certainly is not going to be the moment that I remember from that game. It might be like the fourth moment I remember from that game, between Yamamoto and Pages and the Rojas homer and the Rojas play, which is, I'm sure we will discuss this with Steve, but being inches from a World Series title is just heartbreaking. But, hey man, that's, what I would say is that's just what we've come to expect from this series, right? Expect the unexpected.
I'm going to remember John Smoltz saying that Freddie Freeman had been struggling, even though he's so clutch. And his analysis would be that a hit here would go a long way for his confidence to be restored. Like, he just can't talk, Like, he just can't.
Okay, try this one on for size.
All right.
This game, man, you're going to have a lot of moments where relievers come in and just see who does it better. Oh, will you?
I actually liked by the end when he was just kind of delirious. Like,
yeah, I know.
What do you even say? I mean, it was one of the few games that rose to the occasion of his inability to speak.
Yes, exactly.
Like, usually it's like
sort of
Saturday,
I need a speechless broadcaster
July
right
17th, now. And it's like Brewers Cardinals, and he's like, "Well, you just Freddie Peralta,
right? So the team that wins more is probably going to do it for more runs." And you're like, "All right."
Like, wait, let me unpack that. Actually,
I also real quick shout out to Miguel Rojas, who, when he was being interviewed after the game, started talking about how actually people really need to appreciate everything the Dodgers have done for baseball over the last couple years. Great,
that was crazy.
Great bait.
That was crazy.
well played.
His thing was actually quite wholesome when he was talking about
it was
how much he loves the organization and he loves all the team and how much the fans have meant to him. And because he started his career with the Dodgers, he got called up by the Dodgers 10 years ago, and then 12 years ago, and then he had a couple other stops along the way. Namely, the Marlins was probably the longest and most successful stretch along the way. And then the Dodgers brought him back. And I mean, I'll put my hand up and say it was an unserious move to have the Dodgers playing, or to have Miguel Rojas playing shortstop for a team that had World Series aspirations in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
This was after they had traded for Turner and Scherzer, and they let both of them walk in free agency. And I was like, guys, what's your plan here? Like, who's going to play shortstop? Turned out that the plan was to let Rojas play shortstop for a year and then allow that time for Mookie Betts to remember that he could be the best defensive shortstop in baseball and then win the World Series 2 years in a row. It's unfathomable what they are able to pull off, Tip of the cap. I wanted the Jays to win. I wanted them to win more than I even thought watching Game 7 and how excruciating it was and how upset I was by so many of those plays. But I find it hard to dislike this Dodgers team. When I watched the video of Ohtani and Yamamoto and Sasaki celebrating together, I'm like, that's really nice. When I watched the video of Dave Roberts on stage after the game looking for his family in the crowd, and then he finds them and he's so excited to see them, I'm like, these are not bad people.
No.
They're not the villains that I want them to be. They're not Derek Jeter, Roger Clemens. They're not these are not villainous dudes.
Yeah.
With the exception of a couple.
Yeah, of course. No, but I know you're a big Friedman guy as well, right? I was like, this is the bastion of society, the best we have to offer right here.
I love
the
Friedman.
Greatest minds of his generation.
He is the greatest mind of his generation. You're doing a bit right now, but he is what we should have wrote Moneyball about him, not about Billy Beane. He actually wins. Friedman actually wins.
Yeah, what a great series to serve as an ambassador for baseball. I don't want to do a whole what does this mean for the health of the sport conversation, in part because I think we're going to be dragged into many of those conversations in the coming months as we kick off CBA negotiations. But what I will say is
sowing and reaping, my friend.
Yeah, exactly. I thought it was very cool how representative this was of baseball as a global game, and all the sort of different corners of the world that it touched, whether it being, I think, the first World Series to start and end in Canada ever, right? Being ended by a Japanese ace. I don't know. It was very cool to me. It did not seem homogenous in a way that I don't know, some other World Series maybe have, not naming names. I thought it was cool.
You don't want to go through and list off every World Series that you thought was too homogenous. Yes. Okay. We're going to bring in Steve. We're going to get a little perspective on what it was like to be in the building for some of these moments as a Toronto Blue Jays fan. All right, let's kick it over to our friend, Steve Sladkowski. We're joined once again by our good friend Steve Sladkowski, who was in the building for Game 7 of the Toronto Blue Jays versus the Los Angeles Dodgers at the 2025 World Series. A truly monumentous occasion. Steve, we're really happy that you're here to talk about it.
Yeah, I mean, if I had to experience it, I'm glad that I got to experience it in the same row of seats as Ernie Clement's nephews.
They must have been having a great night because Clement was incredible. Steve, obviously an unbelievable game. I think I saw a stat that was this had the most changes of 15% or more to championship win probability added. Our favorite stat here among the three of us, baby. Of any baseball game in history. 9 changes of more than 15% to the championship win probability.
That's crazy.
On singular plays. Take us through what it felt like. Or don't, if you just want to talk about jazz or whatever, we can just talk about that for 20 minutes.
Can we talk about you and the Criterion Closet at some point, maybe?
Yeah, hell yeah, we can. Yeah, that was fucking sick, dude.
It was cool. The MLB social influencer, whatever, contingent provided tickets, which was really nice of them to do. I don't know, like it was so electric in there and so special, you know, like my niece and nephew were there. We got, you know, we spent too much money on merch for them. And that just sort of, you know, everyone was just so excited. It was so special and electric. Like I was in the 500s, like 18 rows up, basically like scraping the dome, and everyone stood for the whole game. Up to that point, like even like Alejandro Kirk hitting into that double play, like people still, there was like, it's just a belief that was so special in like kind of like it unified the city and brought, I think, people together both in that building and just everywhere, you know, like after game 6, I watched at home. I took the dog out. There were just some dudes like standing on a porch across the street from my condo. And we were just yelling across the street, Jason 7, you know, like, so
the type of guys you would have invited into the garage.
Yes.
Were you to have a garage
Yeah.
to be kicked into by your wife.
Yeah.
Right.
Exactly. So, you know, I think that spirit and that sort of like belief in the team and I think the vibe of this team was so infectious. It was so special for people to then just be there and to see, you know, how much it meant to people to be in that atmosphere and at that game. It was crazy. I wish it had turned out differently.
It was truly one of the most heartbreaking losses I have ever seen. Right, at times it seemed like the Jays were inches from. At times they'd not. It felt like they literally were inches
2 outs away.
from two outs away. Maybe a head first slide or a run through the bag. Away from winning, but I mean, like going back a little earlier in the game, right? Bo Bichette hits that home run. I mean, what is that sort of moment like just in the ballpark? Because it really, like, for most of the game, it kind of felt inevitable for the Blue Jays. It sort of just felt like that moment was waiting to happen.
Yeah, Bichette definitely was due. So I'm not surprised. I feel like he had a few hits in game 5 in LA that it was like, all right, he might not be able to run, but the swing is like at 100. And he killed that ball. Hilariously, the lines for the bathroom were so long that we both basically in that inning, like that half inning before the Bichette home run, both had lined up for the bathroom. And I was like, I had gotten a beer and ran into John Axford, Milwaukee Brewers, a Wall of Fame, John Axford. And we were standing talking while I was like waiting for Bailey. I had like 2 beers. I gave him one and waiting for Bailey to come out of the bathroom basically. And heard Bichette hit the home run. We were on the concourse, like had the TV feed, and John Axford and I just both went like tearing back into the, so I actually didn't see it, but like the stadium like rumbled.
Yeah.
Which again, but like it was, even to be in line for a beer or like for the bathroom, like that, like people, when they pulled Scherzer, I had just like had to go to the bathroom or get a beer or something, like people were applauding like on the concourse when they pulled Scherzer, you know, like, yeah, it 3 runs wasn't enough to win a game in this series. So it always felt a little more like they were going to need a little bit more, you know. I love that it was Jimenez to get that 4th run too, after everything that went down. Like that game was so crazy. No one's talking about the fact that the bench is cleared.
Oh my God, I know. Very, very goofy.
Oh, so stupid. It was
they
so
should have cleared
good.
the benches a couple more times to wear Yamamoto down a little more. You know? He doesn't have the legs for it to be running in and out. He just pitched last night.
See, did you remember there was like a little game pause in game 5 because someone ran out on the field?
Yeah.
Do you guys see who it was and what happened?
No.
Someone ran onto the field holding an American flag.
Oh.
Wow.
and got.
I don't love that.
Yeah, which I think was really funny because that sort of turned the game a little bit for Yamamoto. Like it broke his rhythm like just enough.
Yeah, he was throwing warm-up pitches during it.
Yeah. So I guess, which is a long way of saying I agree with you. They should have cleared the benches a few more times.
Our strategy here is to keep Yamamoto out of this game by making him run the equivalent of a marathon to get back and forth. Yes, I agree that 3 runs never felt like enough. And yet, the Dodgers kept chipping away, solo homer. And the Blue Jays tacked on, they added on, they got that insurance run that felt so important. And it's really amazing. I never cease to be stunned and impressed by the ways that narrative arcs resolve themselves in the playoffs so frequently. It feels like the type of thing that shouldn't necessarily happen. Baseball should be way more random than this, but like it coming down to the fact that the Dodgers had this rotation, this superpowered rotation where they could throw all 4 of them into a game 7 super impressively by Yamamoto to be able to get into that game at all, let alone pitch how he was pitching.
Yeah.
When it looked like he might actually fold in the 9th inning after hitting a guy and having the bases loaded with only 1 out. And then on the Blue Jays side, to have Hoffman come in, who has been so amazing all year in terms of locking it down and in these playoffs especially, but his one Achilles heel, the one thing that actually did happen to him all year was the long ball, the home run. He gave up a lot of home runs this year. And then for that to be the thing that kind of lets the air out of the balloon, it's just baseball is so cruel, but that's the reason that we love it.
Poetry for idiots.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The energy in the building was so strong that even after the Hoffman home run, people were like, they're going to win.
Yeah.
There have been a few games this year where Hoffman coming in, everyone I think was like, well, that's that then. We'll take the L, and that's fine. He's a closer, right? Like closers are it's very few, no one's Mariano Rivera, right? That there's a reason he's one of one. There's always a little, I feel like with closers, especially now, it feels like there's always just like a little bit of chaos. So like, fine. He gives up the home run every once in a while. It just, I really like, I was saying this to Blake and to a few other people that I was able to actually talk to this morning. That's I think is gonna haunt me less than Pages like bowling over Kike Hernandez to make that catch on Ernie Clement. I can't believe he caught that ball.
I can't either.
I don't know.
I told Alex before you got on here when he hit the ball, I thought it was going to be a hard hit line out to the left fielder. And then I realized that Kike was playing so shallow for some reason. And then I thought it was going to get over his head. And then the longer the ball hung up in the air, I thought it was going to be a home run.
Yeah.
And then in that last second, I was like, oh man, here comes Pages.
Yeah.
And for him to have just come into the game.
Yeah.
I mean, something feels divine about that, actually. Like you can't even, I don't even know what to do about that. There's nothing the Jays could have done in that situation. It was just an absolute stroke of genius, luck, divinity, whatever you want to call it, for Roberts to have subbed him in the play before that.
Yeah. That's the one where I'm like, I was shocked. I mean, you can see it on, like, I had to rewatch, like, I watched the highlight package that MLB cut together this morning because, let no one say I'm a front runner. Longtime listeners of the show will know that. But the look on Clement's face after that catch, I think kind of sums up the night in a way, Yeah, it was like the Kirk, hitting into a ground double play to end the World Series. That sucks. It just like that. Once Will Smith hit that home run, though, it was kind of like, oh shit, here we go. And even then, though, Vlad was on third. Like,
thanks to an expertly placed sacrifice bunt. Not many bunts these days where I'm sort of like, well played on that one.
Yeah.
That was a good word.
You do have to hand it to the bunt every once in a while.
Unfortunately.
We hate that.
Hate to admit A-Rod is right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there were a couple of really good bunts.
There were.
in the World Series, but I think in the entire Jays run, that was one thing that they did surprisingly well, right? Like that, and for the most part, the intentional walk. But I don't know, man. Like it's so. I think that was so special. Just overall, like even for everyone to like, they put the fear of God into the Dodgers, I think, and that's really, considering how much of an underdog they were, I think that is the to me a great takeaway and like a pretty special thing. Obviously, I wanted them to win, but it was so cool. That whole run was so cool and so crazy. I don't know.
I like the way you put that they put the fear of God into the Dodgers. And when you look at this series as a whole, I think that probably the most hopeful thing that you can take away from it as a Blue Jays fan, like as a neutral observing it, is that the Blue Jays like just continued to play Blue Jay baseball, which really like clarified itself over the course of this postseason. Just like pressure, knock a single when you need to. Clement 30 hits in the postseason. Vlad continuing to just be incredible, like a couple game-breaking moments that the Blue Jays can have that can really just wear you down. And like even against the Dodgers, this super-powered team with 4 incredible starters, like it took unprecedented things for them to knock the Blue Jays out. And if the Dodgers are going to summon that out of nowhere, at least the Blue Jays went down doing what they do best, loading the bases, keeping pressure on. And they made not to sports radio it, but they made the Dodgers earn it in a way that no team has in any of the Dodgers World Series runs over the last 5 or 6 years.
And I think this is sort of I had a friend be like, how was it Miguel Rojas?
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, actually, like it kind of made sense to me, being the guy who hits that home run to tie the game and then cuts down the runner at home. That's the kind of thing that the Jays got a lot of this year, was like a guy at the end of the bench just going out of his mind for a week or for a game or for a season, like, so it was interesting to see like a little bit of that sort of script get flipped. Again, fucking Miguel Rojas, are you serious? But like,
not even just Miguel Rojas, like he dumped his front shoulder on a slider and still hit it out.
Yeah.
He wasn't even trying to hit that out. It was a hanger, but he was trying to just dump it to left field.
He looked worried every time he had to throw the ball. Like,
yeah, he did. He would run it all the way. He would run all the way over to first when it was like a routine ground ball instead of making a throw.
Nice Van Cleef necklace, though. You got to give that.
I know, it did look really good.
Pretty cool.
Yeah,
right on point with that trend. The Van Cleef trend that you can have when you play baseball. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
It matches yours.
That's right.
The same
I have it under here
blue,
though. You can't see it.
Yeah. So luxurious that you don't even need to show it.
That's right. That's true. What quiet luxury, is that what they call it? Right?
Yeah. Quiet luxury.
God.
Who would you say is the World Series MVP on the Jays in your book? They obviously do not bestow this upon someone whose team does not win. But there were a lot of candidates, frankly.
Yeah,
that I think you could.
Yeah, you could. I mean, Clement had a 13-game hit streak in the playoffs. That guy was dropped by the Oakland A's.
Yeah,
he was released by Oakland.
But a few examples of that in this World Series.
Yeah,
actually.
Clement being a former A, and then there being like 9 former Mets in this series. Every time
I realized
I
realized that this was a few days ago, and I forgot to text our group chat about it. But I realized that Chris Bassett is like the Hall of Fame like tipping pitches guy.
Yes, he is.
Like he's the most tipping pitches guy. He played for the Mets. He played for Oakland. He played for Toronto. Like it really covers a lot of what we've talked about, whether it's ownership or just, suffering. It's really, anyway, that was an aside. But
him and Scherzer, I kept saying this throughout this whole World Series, but him and Scherzer ruined my entire 2022 by shitting the bed in the last week of the series against Atlanta, and then in the wild card round against the Padres. They ruined my whole year.
I didn't. I guess it's only come out recently that the reason that Scherzer came to Toronto was because of Bassett.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he said, and there was a great. If we had talked in like May, right? I think I would have said Scherzer's cooked.
We totally did talk in May, by the way.
Yeah,
because we talked when you guys put the album out.
Yeah, okay. Before
or like April or something.
Yeah. And
you probably did say Scherzer's cooked.
Yeah. I mean, right? Longtime listeners will know. I feel like there's something he said something in the like exit interview yesterday or whatever. Like he was like, I didn't think I would love baseball at 41 the way that like this team made me love baseball, which I think is really cool because that fucking guy has done everything. And so for him to like say that, I think is a testament to, again, how special the team was. But like, that's to say, like, okay, we've talked about Ernie Clement and we have a little diatribe about old guys because, you know, we got to give it up for the old guys. But like, Vlad had one of the 5 best postseasons ever. Trey Savage probably would have been World Series MVP if they won, right? Because he essentially, as much as we could have the Yamamoto effect of like coming in after you've pitched or whatever, like that. Savage was basically that, right? Like he gave up that one home run to Muncy, but like he looked good.
Another former A.
Yeah.
Max Muncy, another former A.
Yeah, I think those you could pick Clement, you could pick Guerrero, you could pick Savage. You know, Bieber's one slider away from having 2 wins in this series.
I want to talk about Vlad for a minute or two.
Oh yeah, let's do it.
I just found him so unbelievably likable, charismatic, compelling. You set aside just what he does on the field, which is like obviously attractive to the average baseball fan. He hits the shit out of the ball, and he is the son of one of the most fun players to watch in baseball history. You know, he is a lifelong Blue Jay. He wants to stay a lifelong Blue Jay. It clearly means something to him to be part of the Blue Jays organization and to build alongside Bichette, like their relationship on the biggest pedestal that it could be on this postseason. I thought was amazingly charming, but just watching him, his facial expressions, the raw emotion after making defensive plays. He's diving all over the place, catching everything hit his way. He's turning double plays that average first basemen don't turn after there was so much criticism of his defense and that he was going to be a lifelong DH. Why would he get $500 million? He can't play the field. The base running, everything, the emotions in the dugout after the game, which was so heartbreaking to watch because he was 5 feet from ending the game in the bottom of the 10th inning.
Yeah.
He is so it. And he's everything, despite not being able to bring home the World Series this year. He is everything that it makes it worth coming back year over year to be a fan of a team and players on that team. And man, that was such a treat of this postseason for me as a neutral.
He's really special. I think the World Series, the playoffs generally, but the World Series, I think especially, if you watch the Jays or you're a sicko, saw that there's a reason he won a Gold Glove at first base. Right? It wasn't just like an outlier. It wasn't a like popularity contest. Like now, I'm long on the record being like he was never a third baseman. So I think that move was like a crucial one to actually allow him to learn the sort of rhythm of a baseball season. Because that I think was the thing prior to this year that he struggled with more than anything. Was just like by the time you kind of would get to some of those wild card games, like I think of that series against Tampa. This is a few years ago already. Like Ryu pitched a game, I think, and like 21, 22 maybe. You know, and he just was pressing and didn't have it and looked gassed. that's the player that I think we've always known, right? This is essentially the guy that finished second in AL MVP behind Ohtani when he hit 58 home runs or something, 48 home runs, something. Just like he's so special. He's so good. And I really do think like a lot gets made. Lance Lynn was on Blake's show the other day, saying like the Jays have to compete with America to sign free agents, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's true. Like that is a thing. Baseball, an American game, a lot of Americans playing it, despite how international it is. There's always going to be a bit of that. Now, the tax rate in Canada is about the same in Ontario as it is in New York, but we won't go here or there, right? Plus,
you want to talk about the value of the dollar right now?
As
the Jays should be able to sign whoever they want.
That's right. And plus, as the Dodgers have shown us, you can just defer that, baby. Let's go.
No net present value talk right now.
Right. We don't care at all about the
we have a whole
of California
to fill content. We are not going to be uttering Gavin Newsom's name on today.
No, that's right. Which, you know what? Never mind. But I do think like this year, this postseason, this World Series, seeing what kind of Vlad was, I have a feeling that they are going to be a real destination for free agents. Our billionaire owner's daddy issues, where his dad, Ted Rogers, died without having brought the World Series, because in the 90s, the Jays were owned partially by Labatt Brewery, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have a feeling that's gonna be a thing. Seeing the amount of money they made, I mean, I feel like they paid off Vlad's contract in some of the revenue from like there's probably half of his contract paid off in the revenue.
Yeah.
Like I spent
from the last 6 weeks.
Yeah. Like, I don't want to talk about how much I spent on merch for myself and for my family. So I think if the Jays don't make the World Series, if they maybe lose in the LCS, if they lose in the division series, and you don't see Bichette at all, I wonder if they let him walk. I think now maybe he will probably end up being a second baseman, right? Like on a real competitive team, to keep his body healthy, that glove will play better at second base over a 10 to 12 year contract, which is probably what he's going to be after, than shortstop. Question is he going to want to do that, right? And I think part of why he plays second in the World Series is a bit of a tacit admission. This is just I'm just kind of riffing here now. I don't actually know that, but I think they're going to bring him back. I think they bring him back. I think they have to, or they have to at least be competitive, right? You can't let him go to the Dodgers. You can't let him go. Yeah, I know, but they need a second baseman, don't they? Because Mookie's going to probably still be a shortstop.
Why not $300 million for Miguel Rojas?
Well, World Series hero. Get all the Van Cleef necklaces you want, man. Come on now.
You can buy Steve's right off his person.
That's right. Yeah, I don't know. I think if you're you play in the best division in baseball. Sorry, y'all. Until they do realignment when they add Nashville and Salt Lake or whatever.
Salt Lake is so cursed. Like, to imagine a baseball team at Salt Lake and the type of fans that will attract.
The newest addition to the NL West, the Salt Lake Soakers. Anyway,
guys, Vlad did not have a single bad at bat the whole postseason. Like for a month straight, he didn't have a bad at bat.
No, he grounded into a couple of double plays.
Sometimes he grounded double plays, whatever. He maybe flew out on the first pitch a couple times, but like he had 3 bad swings the whole month.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Yeah.
He's 26. Next season is supposed to be his quote unquote athletic peak season.
Mm-hmm.
He turns 27 2 weeks before the season starts.
I think
it makes me so happy how good of a postseason he had, especially because I know that like he obviously was effectively christened the sort of once and future king of baseball, or at least like Blue Jays baseball, right? And it took him a couple years to sort of find his footing a little bit, but positionally and at the plate, and for him to take that crown, actually, like grab it this October was awesome. Was so cool.
Yeah, he's going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
that's right.
If I'm Max Fried, I'm just like, what do I do? Like, I just signed this big contract with the Yankees, and I can't get this fucking guy out.
Yeah,
and I have to see him 40 times. The home run he hit off Ohtani, and I know Ohtani hit like off of Snell. Oh, and Ohtani, fuck, both of them. Like,
yep.
Man, he just like, to see him now be a little more. He has that blend of aggression and just like hitting ability. It's like Bichette does it better, right? And that's kind of it. And maybe not even Bichette now. I don't know. Like, I just think if that's a guy, that is a guy that like other people in baseball want to play with, right? Like, or you see Trey Savage and you're like, this kid is 22.
Yeah.
Like, it just feels like that maybe showed people a little bit more of why like Toronto was, on the short list for Yamamoto, on the short list for Ohtani. Like, yeah, were they ever going to come to the Eastern time zone? Probably not. But like, I get that all now feels like a little more real. It doesn't feel like, Toronto was being used like by agents to like sweeten the offer from the Dodgers or whatever. Like, I think if you are a like high ticket free agent, Toronto looks pretty good.
Yeah, well, and if you're the Blue Jays, you have to look at the season and say, we can do better.
Oh yeah,
right. We can be back here next year. I don't know if that will be their tendency. Right, there are some teams who say, you know what, we got here with this, right? Let's ride it out.
Yeah,
but like to your point, you have to go aggressively after Bichette. You have to hit the free agent market and try and fill those holes. Like, you literally have no other choice.
Like, I'm interested to see, Shane Bieber has the option, which he almost certainly will decline. Does he stay? Depending on what they want to pay him, right? Do you want him? I don't know. Like, you gave $110 million to Kevin Gausman, and it was worth every penny. They are showing that they want to spend money and built a team that, was 2 outs away from winning the World Series.
Yeah.
25 outs. Not enough. You need 27, as it turns out. Or whatever, 33?
Right.
That was some quick math right there.
I certainly wasn't, had my hands folded in prayer with my hat backwards, counting fucking outs last night.
Well, Steve, my heart goes out to you and all the fellow Blue Jays fans, your fellow Blue Jays fans, of which there are so many in the Tipping Pitches extended universe. I went down and I opened my phone yesterday after the game ended, and I was like, who do I need to text after that loss? And it was more people than I was expected to. I've never been to Toronto, but suddenly all these Canadians are in my life. So my heart goes out to all of you folks.
We'll do I know you guys do the field trip to City, but we should do a Rogers Center field trip next summer. Because it is the most spectacular, one of the most spectacular views. There are a few others that I would put above it. That I'm not going to slander Petco Park here. I have been to Dodger Stadium. There's some nice ones.
Pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Dodger Stadium, pretty great.
Pretty nice.
Great place. They did all right.
But
you're telling me this for the first time.
But yeah, I know. Nobody ever says that about Dodger Stadium. It's crazy, right? Do you know that
it's ho-hum?
Hey, do you know that it's loud?
It's not even that loud there. I mean, they have 10,000 more seats there than
the
everyone else.
Inning,
yeah.
So.
Oh, you got their ass. You got their ass. We have to. I've been saying for 3 straight years that I need to come in September during TIFF and to see a Blue Jays series. Yeah. So now that we're planning it a year in advance,
that's right.
Maybe I can actually
make it happen.
But you know what? Like we were hoping for a party, obviously. So as I mentioned this, the dog was at grandma's, was at my mom's. and we went to pick her up today, and we were gonna like stop in and grab a bagel on the way up. And the line for our favorite bagel place was out the door. People were still wearing their Jays jackets and their hats and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
Did it for the economy.
That's right.
Let's go, Jays.
Right. I think we moved the economy of the city of Toronto 7 to 10% over this. I think is what I heard on the CBC.
Let's go.
Raw economics. That's what baseball's all about, baby.
That's right.
ROI. ROI.
And certainly this will not be held up as a reason to lock out the players, right?
No.
We've saved
Oh, God, no.
Even though the Dodgers won, we saved baseball.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. And thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for doing that.
Yeah,
I think you saved baseball by appearing on this podcast throughout October. Steve, you were the real MVP of the Tipping Pitches podcast over the last month. We greatly, greatly appreciate it.
It's been a fun ride, and obviously I love you guys and love doing this, and we get to do it again at some point next year. Maybe I'll remember my appearances from the middle of the season. Who knows? Who knows what?
It was a stressful time for you.
It was.
I can't believe I still have another tour. I'm not done touring for the year.
Jesus.
Praying for your sleep schedule to get back to normal after the 18-inning game and the Jays run and a whole nother tour. Wow.
We made it to the end of daylight savings. That's how long the Jays were in it.
That's true. November baseball.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He is Steve Sladkowski. He plays in a band called PUP, and you can find him at the Rogers Center, returning on the investment of the Rogers Corporation from time to time.
You know what? Jack up my phone bill. I don't give a fuck.
Steve, thank you. You're the best.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you to Steve. Thank you to you. Thank you to Major League Baseball. Thanks to Rob Manfred. Thanks to Mark Walter. Thanks to Stan Katzen. Those are really my guys. I was really happy for those guys on the stage last night.
Yeah. I was a little disappointed.
Oh.
In the Blue Jays crowd last night. I heard a smattering of boos for Rob Manfred, but it was not the groundswell that I think I was expecting. But they just don't have hate in their hearts up there.
I have no criticism to levy against the Jays fans after what happened to them last night. I mean, it literally, if IKF dives, they win the World Series. Like,
so brutal.
So brutal. Steve was in good spirits, all things considered.
He was. Before we head out, I just want to resurface the statement that Alex Rodriguez made following the game.
Mm-hmm.
He doubled down, you could say.
Is that right?
He started saying, you know what, guys? I think the game started to get away from us a little bit with stuff like analytics.
I heard this.
But you know what, fellas? Baseball's back. Starting pitching's back. Then he added the third one. And the Dodgers are back. Where'd they go? I don't know. They won the World Series last year.
He was a split second away from saying, America's back.
Exactly.
Apple pie is back.
Chevrolet.
Let's go. Well, we know Chevrolet is back. If you've been listening to this podcast, you know Chevrolet is back in a big time way. I want to say, as we get out of here, that was our ninth World Series on the podcast.
Crazy work.
9 of those things. 2017 was our first one. Against all odds, we're coming up on a decade. To steal Blank Check's branding, a decade of dreams. That's what they said for their 10th anniversary. Decade of dreams.
For us, it may be a decade under the influence.
Oh, under the influence of what? Content?
Exactly. And sometimes actual liquor.
More often beer.
Yeah, that's fair.
Unless
we're trying to get in our A-Rod bag.
That's right. We have some creative things to execute this off season. I'm excited for them. I have some ideas to pitch to you. I think we should put together a brainstorm. Should we film our brainstorm and put it on Patreon?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that would be as entertaining as people would think.
I think we'd live stream it.
Oh, okay. Well, Speaking
like
of
a
things,
48 hours, shut in together.
I love that idea. See, you say that as a joke, and I say it sounds like a good idea.
You say,
sounds
tell
like
me where.
great content. Yeah.
Yeah.
When and where, as the MLBPA would say. We haven't talked even for like 5 minutes. The likelihood of this offseason just being spent discussing the impending lockout of next year.
Yeah, I mean the last normal offseason we're gonna have ever.
A lot to get
maybe.
into. A-Rod's docuseries, which I'm excited about.
Yep.
More content to come. Our normal offseason shenanigans. Dumbest things of 2025. Just a lot of great stuff to keep tapped into. Tell a friend. Tell a family member. Tell a loved one.
This is our Super Bowl coming up right now.
You love saying that.
I love saying that.
And you say it like 8 times a year.
And so did, let's not to bring it back. So did A-Rod to Kevin Burkhardt. He was like, you've covered a lot of football. This is kind of like our Super Bowl. Blew my mind.
KB.
He's playing 2-dimensional checkers.
They did a highlight reel of all of the best moments of the Fox Sports post game, pre and post game, after the game ended last night. And I was watching it, and I was like, I was stunned that they found this many moments where Derek Jeter was laughing.
Yeah, actually. Oh, another one in the books.
Just like we all predicted. The Los Angeles Dodgers, 2025 World Series champions. Okay, we're going to be back here in 1 week's time on the main feed, continuing to do Patreon content throughout all of the offseason. We'll see you soon.
Hello, everybody. I'm Alex Rodriguez. Tipping pitches.
Tipping pitches.
This is the one that I love the most.
Tipping pitches.
So we'll see you next week. See ya!
Are you aware of the fact that the Monopoly McDonald's thing is back?
Yeah, I can't escape it.
But like, wasn't there this whole documentary series about how that was a scam, a Ponzi scheme?
Was there?
I thought so.
You're not thinking of the like Pepsi, where's my jet story?
No.
Okay.
This broke in 2020, how the McMillions scammers rigged McDonald's Monopoly game and stole $24 million.
Oh, well, so it sounds like users scammed it.
Yeah, but like this branding has like a negative connotation to it. Just like do something different. Like use a different Hasbro game or whatever. Like when I see that, I think like it's rigged. I'm not going to play that.
But from what I understand from the singular headline you just read me, the like 7 words in it, it sounds like what
this is the most Rogan coded segment we've ever done.
I know. Is this going in? Have we started recording the outro to this podcast?
This feels like a blooper. But I think they had like an inside man. There's like a whole series about this. I don't know. Do your own research.